Hey, my name's Anthony.
My name's Alex.
And we are
the PTA Podcast.
Alrighty, everybody. Thanks for tuning in again for another episode of the PTA Podcast. Don't forget, like and subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum. All right, Alex, how you going, mate?
Anthony.
Are you well?
I am good.
Good.
I am good.
That's good.
I'm great. No, jokes, I'm good.
You all right? What's
I'm
wrong?
ready for another episode.
All right, let's do this. This episode is a bit of a different one, but I like the topic. Strong parents raise strong families. What's your take?
Honestly, bro, I'm a very big believer in that, man. Speaking as a man, it takes a man to raise a man. Right? We have both seen in this day and age that there are a lot of boys trying to raise men and they're failing. And I say boys because there are a lot of people that are male that are not doing the greatest job at being the fathers they need to be. And that's because I put it down to a few things. One, they're not looking after themselves, right? Two, they're trying to be something they're not. And three, they're getting caught up in the materialism of the world. And I know of a lot of people that are dads that they sit there and they're like, why is my son like that? And I'm like, well, brother, look in the mirror.
A lot of dads make the mistake about thinking about their job is just to provide with money and that's it. There's actually a bigger job that they need to do. It's not their fault though. And the reason why I say it's not their fault is because their dads probably didn't teach them that.
See, I get caught in this middle part where I'm like,
it's got to come from somewhere.
I understand
it needs to come from somewhere. Now,
but
if fathers, if men, and I'm saying men very loosely here, if men become fathers and they don't care enough about being present in their kids' lives, it's got to come from somewhere. Are they not ready to be parents yet? Are they doing it just to tick off a list of life's accomplishments? Are they doing it because that's what you do when you get married? Or that's what the next thing is in your relationship? Excuse me. Are they doing it because their dads, that's all they know? Their dads would just worked all day and brought money home. That's all they did. And it's a mother's job to nurture the kids. Do you get what I mean? Traditional homes, right? That's what it was like. The men worked all day. The mothers were at home being the nurturers. But in today's day and age, we can't afford to do that. You need both mother and father working. If both mother and father are working, both need to pull, pull their weight in nurturing the children. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, 100%.
There is absolutely no point in a father, and this is what gets me about some dads, and I've had fights with dads about this. There's absolutely no point in a father saying he can't afford to pay all the bills and earn all the money because he can't afford it. So the mother has to work, but he still expects the mother, or his wife, or his partner, to do all the other stuff on top of that. He does nothing. You can't expect that because you can't even do your part, your part as tradition would have it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
If my wife didn't work, she'd know that she needs to do all the things she needs to do at home because she's not working. But she does work. So what does it mean for me?
You've got to share the role.
You got to share the load. We have different roles. We'll always have different roles.
Share the load, yeah.
Irrespective of what society tells us, we're always going to have different roles. And there's nothing wrong with that. But sharing the load is really important. Right? And on top of that, the second thing, why the fuck would you have a kid and then not want to be around your kid? Like, that makes no sense to me. My happiest times in my day is when I'm with my son. Why would you want a kid and then not have a kid? So why would you have a kid and not want to be around your kid? It's not creating something that's sustainable at home or strong at home or positive at home, right? The amount of kids that have PTSD from their father or their mother not doing or being present with them, it's scary.
Yeah. So they act out in because they want attention.
They act out because they want attention, but imagine when that child becomes an adult. Are they going to be good contributors to society? Highly likely that they're not going to be. Do you get what I mean? And it's because parents aren't there, right? Most parents come home the ones who don't look after themselves come home stressed, angry, pissed off, tired.
Yep.
And how much do they have of patience for their child?
Bro, barely anything.
But next to none, right? And so when you get that, you get this negative person. Is the child going to be excited to see their parent when they get home? Nope. Is the child going to be comfortable confiding in their parent when they have something wrong with them? Nope. Is the child going to be, is the child going to seek validity of other people and other things that they're not getting from their family? Yep. Right? Why do you think these things happen to young kids when they get mixed up with the wrong crowd? Because they're told the things that they've been yearning to hear of either predators or just the wrong kind of people that they should be around. But they're hearing the right things that makes them feel like they're included and safe and loved, right? But you can't blame the child. You can't. The child didn't ask to get born. You were the one that planted the seed, literally. So it's on you. It's on you to do your due diligence and be the parent that you need to be to support this child.
Yeah, 100%.
If not, close your fucking legs. Or if not, don't impregnate your partner. Right? That's just, to me, it's that black and white.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, going back to your point where you said, a dad might be a certain way because of their dad. But then I look at it from the point of view and I'm like, all right, so for example, if Bob was an alcoholic and Bob's son David saw his dad an alcoholic, but because his dad was an alcoholic, he became an alcoholic.
Yeah.
I look at that and I'm like,
there's two ways it can go.
Yeah, I know there's two ways.
Have you heard the story of the two brothers? One brother was an alcoholic and a degenerate. The other one was a successful businessman. They both got asked, what was your dad like? And they both said, my dad was an alcoholic.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. So the one that became the alcoholic, I'm like, I look at that and I'm like, but you saw the negative implications of that. Why did you choose to follow it?
But that's because you have a different mindset. But when somebody's in that mindset that doesn't know anything else other than that and has maybe tried but failed, and they don't feel like they're able to do anything, this is why it can be like that. Right? This is so important. This is why it's so important to understand that if you're going to bring a child into this world, you need to have your head screwed on. It's not fun and games bringing a kid into this world. It's actually responsibility. 100%. And it can get very stressful if you don't have your head screwed on. Yeah. It can put pressure and tension on your relationship with your wife or your partner if you don't have your head screwed on. If you're not both on the same page. If you're not pulling your weight.
100%.
And I see it all the time and it does my fucking head in.
Yeah. And that's where I sit there and I get frustrated with men who...
Look, sorry, can I just preface something? Guys, we keep talking about men because we are men. I can't talk about what women's supposed to be doing or women's perspective because I'm not a woman. 100%. And that's just a plain fact.
Yeah. I'm only going to talk about what I know. I'm not going to talk about what I don't know.
As you were.
So I get frustrated at men when they, I've spoken to them and they're like, yeah, man, look, I've done A, B, and C, and we dig deeper and, you end up finding out that their childhood was a bit rough and whatnot. And I'm like, so why are you choosing to take your son through the same thing? And they're like, oh, because I'm like, no. I'm sorry, no. You felt like an absolute piece of shit because your dad took you through this. Why are you now making your son feel the exact same thing when you know what it already feels like? Because you're playing the violin for yourself?
Yeah, it's emotional maturity.
Right.
That's what it is.
And so I get very frustrated. That's why I get stuck in the middle. I'm like, I empathize with you because I wouldn't want anyone to go through that. But I don't sympathize with you, bro, because you have a choice. You have a choice. And you've seen the negative implications of A, B, and C. And yet you've chose to do the same A, B, and C, right? So you've already, God's given you an opportunity to see that if you do this, this is what's going to happen. And yet you've chosen to fall into the trap of doing that and letting those same things happen. And so you're repeating the same generational trauma. Why?
This is why dealing with trauma is very important, right? Because if you don't, it can bleed out in other areas of your life, right? There was trauma that's been in our family, right, that affects so many of the men in our family.
Yeah, I know that.
Right? Even you and I. To a degree, it affects you and I. Subconsciously it does. Right? Not consciously, but subconsciously it does. But even that subconscious trauma, right? Even that subconscious stuff has a way of bleeding out into our life in other areas. Especially around things like procrastination and fear. Right? Which affects what we do and what we want to work towards and who we want to become and all those stuff. This is because of the generational stuff that we've witnessed that's impacted us so much more than we thought was going to impact us. Right? And it's not until we confront it, face it, move forward from it, and actually deal with it from the source, which is what I'm actually currently going through at the moment, that we're going to actually really understand how important it is to not let it affect us.
Yeah, 100%. It's more so like I look at it from the point of view where, all right, you went through it, acknowledge it, and accept it because you can't change it, but learn from it. And that's the part that gets me. It's not enough men want to learn from it.
You know why?
They just want to fall over.
It's not about falling over. There's pressure, bro. There's just pressure.
But there's pressure in anything.
I know, but the thing is, when you got that much pressure on you...
But is it pressure that you've created yourself?
It's contextual pressure. Let's just call it as a context, right? So depending on the context, depends on the pressure. But in general, the pressure that's there it makes it hard for us to slow down and stop and think. Do you get what I mean?
And that's where the emotional maturity comes into it.
But that as well. But that's why it's always good to have somebody to confide in and talk to.
Which goes on to my next point that I was listening to a podcast where he was like a male mentor, so to speak, right? And he was saying that the environment that you surround your children with ultimately dictates how your children are going to become more so than how you parent them, right? And what he meant by that, and he used the example, if you can not so much control, because there's only so much that you can control, but if you can assist in the environment of people that your son is around, that's going to play a bigger role in how they grow up, more so than what you try to do with them on a day-to-day basis, because there's going to come a point where you're not around them 24/7. So you got to make sure that the environment that they're around is something that breeds good culture, becoming a good man, right? And that's where a lot, again going back to your point of coming home stressed and tired and whatnot, you end up losing sight of who your child's hanging around with, what they're doing in their free time. You know what I mean? You have to have that.
This goes into one of the points that I had to cover in terms of a topic. Your kids are watching everything you do.
Yeah.
Way more than they're worrying or focusing on what you say. Right? Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is what's more important. Okay? And you can say both, but you've got to give me a good reason as to why.
I've got to have water for this one, guys. Sorry.
What's more important? Being physically fit, or being physically present, or being emotionally present?
Both.
What's more important?
What's more important? Ooh. I don't know. I look at them as they're both as important as each other.
Look, pick one. I'm going to talk about my one.
I'm going to say emotionally present.
Me too. I'm glad you said that. Why?
I honestly feel like emotional maturity will get you so far in life. It's crazy.
Me too. When you're not as reactive, when you're a bit more kind of calmer, and you can really gather your thoughts before you do something, so many more positive things happen.
Yeah. Look, I'll give you an example. Dad taught me this one, when I went through my first breakup and it was upsetting. Feel the feeling, acknowledge it, and then throw it away.
I wish you... Okay.
I guess maybe he learned. I don't know, bro.
Well, I witnessed way too many things when you were younger, bro.
But yeah, feel the feeling, acknowledge it, and then throw it away.
It's a bit hard to do that. And let me tell you why I feel like it's a bit hard to do that. Because what does throwing away even mean? Like
throwing away in the sense of don't let it consume you.
But how do you do that without you forgiving the person?
But feeling it and acknowledging it. It's like, all right, I'm upset. Let it out. Let it out. Get it out, right? Acknowledge that it happened, right? But then don't let it control what you do next.
Okay, I understand.
You know what I mean?
But the best way, in my opinion, to let go of any feeling from, especially when somebody hurts you, is by you need to forgive them, right? So you can feel it, you can acknowledge it, you can whatever in it, you can sit and wallow for months on end. Nothing will change unless you actually go, you know what, I forgive you. Because that's when you properly let go of it, right? The other thing I wanted to highlight as well is when you're emotionally present, especially as a parent, when your child acts out, you can get to the root cause of it. When your child gets frustrated, is upset, is stressed, is worried, is anxious, you can get to the root cause of it. because you can know how to communicate.
Yeah.
If you're not emotionally present, what are you? Just a fucking degenerate who snaps. Does that encourage a child to want to actually talk to you though?
No, no way.
Not at all. Does that encourage a child to actually want to maybe have some kind of relationship with you? No. Does it encourage them to feel like they can trust you and confide in you? It makes them fearful of talking to you because you don't even know how to control your own emotions and you're going to try to tell somebody else how to control theirs. Right? This is why there's a lot of people that I don't take advice from because they can't even do what they're telling me to do. Does that make sense? There's only a few people that I actually talk to about certain things and it's because of the fact that they're doing what they're telling me to do. And there's a level of trust that they've built from letting the actions support what they're saying.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? Those people say to me, you can talk to me, you can trust me, I won't say anything to anybody. But then I see them talking about other people to other people. I'm like, you just went against everything you just told me.
Yeah.
Right? When somebody wants to tell me about, hey, you got to have A, B, and C, but they're not even demonstrating even A, let alone B and C.
Yeah.
Right? This is where it's really important to understand that when you have emotional intelligence, it's not about just controlling your emotions. It's not. It's being very understanding and receptive, but also very aware of what's coming out of your mouth. Right? This is why there's certain people I talk to about certain things. Okay? There's a lot of people I keep just there. I don't hate them. I love them. I pray for them. But I keep them there, right? Because I never want to kind of tell people, and I don't want to have you as a part of my life. That's not what a Christian does. But there's people I don't trust with confiding
certain things, 100%.
With me confiding in them because I've witnessed what they've done with some of the information I've told them in confidence. Right? They've either used it against me later down the track or they've just gone and spoken to somebody else about it who's then later on come and told me. Right? Imagine your child sees you do that though. Nothing would break my heart more than my son saying to me, Dad, I thought I could talk to you about stuff and you told me I could trust you, but I saw you talking about so-and-so in front of me to somebody else. You know how stupid I'd feel? But that happens. And I witness parents doing it all the time. And the kids are right there and they're so full of themselves and they're so consumed with their own fucking ego, they can't even see the damage they're doing to their child who's right there watching them act like a teenage girl or teenage guy again.
It happened to our dad.
Right? It's disgusting. Yeah. It's absolutely disgusting. So when you have that emotional presence with your child, you're understanding that everything you say and do affects them because it shows them that they can either trust you or not trust you.
Yeah.
If my son goes to me, Dad, I don't trust you, that will break my heart.
100%.
Right? If he goes, Dad, I can't talk to you because I see what you do to our other sibling, or I don't want you to snap it at me.
Yeah.
You said it to me once years ago, Anthony, I could never talk to you because you just lose it at me. I feel like the biggest dickhead.
Yeah.
Right? Because I want you to be I want to be the first person you come and talk to, not because I want to sit there and say, I told you so, but because you can trust me to hear you from here, not just from here and do this, hear you from here and give you the advice, or maybe not even give you advice.
Just listen.
Just listen. Right? But I didn't have that with a lot of people that I thought I could have that with. Do you get what I mean? That's why being emotionally present is really important to me, more than just being physically there. Because I can physically be on my phone and my son's like, Dad. Like, I've seen kids do that with their parents. Mom, Dad. And they're like, what? Yeah. I want to get my hand and I want to clobber that motherfucker in the head, bro, every time I see it. Yeah. And it happens a lot and it burns 100%. Me. Right? And it's because of the fact that they're just not understanding of what they're doing. Like, their head's in the clouds, bro.
And you know what else is, well, as while you were talking about, there's a lot of pressure, I actually started to think about it more as well whilst we're talking. A lot of parents need to, how can I say this? A lot of parents need to understand and pat themselves on the back and be okay with the fact that they're still growing up as well and they're still learning as well.
Parents never have it figured out. Right? And will never have it figured out.
And that's what I mean. Like, I feel like there needs to be a lot more empathy around understanding that there's no manual with it, and I know a lot of parents that are really just doing the best that they can.
Look, let me explain something to you. All right? I couldn't agree with that more, firstly. Right? Secondly, the pressure comes, right, because of what we assume is being a good parent. Right? And a lot of us assume being a good parent is when we provide the material things. It's actually not.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I mentioned this to you before. My son's currency is what? The Range Rover he drives in,
the time.
He's a passenger in, or when we're there with him.
The time that you spend with him.
The time, right? So, where's the pressure coming from, really?
Ourselves.
Do we need the fancy stuff? Do we need the nice designer clothes on them?
100%.
So I kept saying, like in one of the last episodes that we did, why does a kid need for a first birthday? Why do they need a block party?
Yeah.
Right? Who's it for? It's not for the kid.
But even deeper than that as well, like as the child ages, the parent is still learning as well.
Well, every next kind of chapter of life,
it's a learning path.
It is,
and parents are going to get it wrong
because you're going from, and I'm talking from experience here as a child, not as a parent for that long. I've only been a parent for 2 years, right? But as a child, I've been a child for 34 years. There's different phases in a child's life. They go through this phase where their parents are their best friends.
Yeah.
Then they go to this phase where they don't want their parents around because they feel like they can do it all on their own.
Yeah.
Then they go through this next phase where they understand what their parents went through and the stress that they have, and they appreciate their parents more, but they're still fighting with their parents because of what they feel like they didn't give them. And then they go into the next phase where their parents become grandparents, for example, and then you see their parents trying to make up for lost time and it breaks your heart. Right, so there's all these different phases, but then the parents trying to keep up with those different phases that you are presenting to them.
That's what I mean.
They have no idea or experience
and that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
On how to deal with or understand.
Yeah, man, 100%. And I feel like that's what I'm trying to say. Where like I feel like a lot of parents just need to stop for a second, just pat themselves on the back, and just understand, like, bro, you're doing all right. Like, you're doing all right, bro. You've given your kids a roof over their head. You're putting food on the table. You're there for them as best as you can be, with as much as you understand them as well, whilst managing your own life and helping them through their life. And you're not going to get it right all the time, and you're going to say the wrong things sometimes. And
I feel like you're you know what I mean? That's some parents you're talking about, because I know you're thinking about certain parents as you're saying that.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that I'm thinking of that do not deserve that.
No,
because
100%.
they're actually not doing what they should be doing.
I'm
the ones that have young kids that are
the beautiful thing is that I've seen more of the, like, more parents do good than, like, more parents deserve what I'm saying.
More parents that are trying
than not trying, which is great to see, right? Because obviously we have heard so many stories of the ones that haven't tried, right? But I am seeing so many more try.
Do you want to know why?
Right?
Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because of the rise in faith.
Yeah.
Right? That's my opinion. People can disagree. That's fine. The rise in faith, the rise in talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing about these podcasts, right? There are podcasts specifically dedicated to parents. Like, the topic is always about parents.
Yeah.
Right? Go back 20 years, Alex. 19 years ago, we didn't have these. 19 years ago, we still had phones with cords on them. Remember?
Yeah.
We didn't have podcasts. Right? We had books that you had to really look at and go into a bookshop at a different category and then look at whatever was in that category,
100%.
right? Or that topic, or whatever it might be. Now you search something on Spotify, the hard book that was there 20 years ago is now an audio book. You can just listen to it.
100%.
So accessibility is a lot easier. Conversation about it is a lot more open, right? So it's actually better. That's why I applaud Gen Z, because they're the ones pushing for this open dialogue about topics that are a little bit taboo, right? Especially about the fact that some parents need a fucking drop kick to their head to wake up.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Right? So when it comes to that, when we look at all that kind of stuff about strong families, right, and how they create strong kids, so strong parents and how they create strong families, where does training at the gym fall into all of what we just spoke about?
I feel like it plays a role in all of it.
Yeah.
And it was literally what I was just thinking now. It's a perfect combination of everything that we just said, right? It's a perfect combination of a parent, showing themselves a bit of empathy with understanding that they're learning. Every single day they're learning, right? But then it's also them understanding that just because you've shown yourself empathy doesn't necessarily mean that you just don't do anything about it either. That you actually take action, right? And you be the role model that you want your kids to become. Ultimately, being a parent means that you need to leave a legacy behind. The legacy that you leave behind is in your control. What are you going to leave behind for your kids to remember, your grandkids to remember, and hopefully maybe even your great grandkids, right? Do you want a legacy left behind where your kids speak about you to their kids? Man, your grandfather, what a man. Your grandmother, what a woman, right? Your grandfather taught me this, right? Your grandmother taught me this. You know, your great-grandfather, we still speak about our great-grandfather to today, right? Your great-grandfather did A, B, and C. That's a man. That's a true definition of a man, right? It's about combining all of it. Where training fits into it, I feel like training is, or health in general, is the head of the pillar that will then allow everything to flow from there. Because when you are mentally, emotionally, and physically healthy, everything flows on from there, and you can be the person that you want to be. Right?
Speaking about legacy, right? I saw this poem that speaks about how a child, when they become an adult and they move out of their home, how you would want them to explain to other people that didn't live with you,
who they were,
didn't live with them, about their parents and about how home was.
Yeah.
And I pulled it up. I want to read it to you.
Go.
All right, because this goes on the legacy.
Yeah.
Right.
Go.
The walls will fade one day. The paint will crack. The rooms will empty, and the driver that once held our cars will belong to somebody else. But that was never the real home anyway. Home was the sound of laughter echoing down the hallway. Fuck. It was little footsteps running too hard through the house after being told not to. It was birthdays in the kitchens. It was Christmas lights tangled in frustration. It was late night talks at the table. It was tired parents trying their best to build a life for people they love most. Can you finish it? Fuck, this shit gets me every time. I'm thinking about our childhood. That's why.
Where are we? Christmas lights tangled in frustration, late night talks at the table, and tired parents trying their best to build a life for the people they love the most. One day our kids won't remember every detail. They won't remember what colour the walls were or what couch sat in the living room, but they'll remember how it felt. They'll remember feeling safe. They'll remember being loved without needing to earn it. They'll remember the smell of dinner after a long day, the way the house sounded when everyone was finally home, the little routines that seemed ordinary at the time but became the very things they miss most when life moves on. And years from now, when they drive past streets that look familiar or hear a song that pulls them backwards in time, they won't remember a house, they'll remember a childhood, a family, a season of life where everything felt simple and where love lived loudly in the smallest moments. Because the greatest thing a home leaves behind is not what was inside it, it's the memory of who we became together while we were there. It's pretty deep, man.
That's legacy.
Yeah.
And the reason why I pulled that up is because I heard that yesterday. Last night I was doing my late nights, my doom scroll as I do at night. And I saw that and I was like, fuck, that's so powerful.
Yeah.
Right. And all the memories of our childhood came flooding back. Oh, sorry. From when I was born and we were living in Liverpool, right? Then when we moved to Petersham with our grandparents. Then when you were born and we were living in Five Dock. And then when we moved back to Petersham with our grandparents. And then when we moved to Helston Park and we've been there for over 20 years. And then when I moved out, right? But all the things in between, I don't really care about the houses. But you know the memories? We used to play cards, the four of us. We used to hang out, watch movies, the four of us. They were good memories. And I simply want that for my son. I want my son to have that kind of stuff, because that's how you know that life was wholesome.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? That's how you know that when it goes back to our topic, strong parents create strong families, that's how you know that the priorities are set right, where you're actually doing the things that are important, which is spending time with the ones you love the most. Do you get what I mean? Right, we're never going to get time back, bro. We grew up with the best grandparents in the world. We only got one left.
Yeah, it all comes back.
We had all
to time,
four
man.
grandparents, Alex. Right? We have the best memories with all of them. Right? But the one that's left is the one that we were with and we were attached to her hip all day, every day. There's a reason why we call our grandma, this one in particular, Mum. Right? So for me, it's like the family doesn't need a perfect body. Like, not everybody in our family needs to be ripped and chiseled and, you know, have the best blood test results. It's not about that, right? They all need to have that energy. They tried their best to be the best leaders that they could for us. They were so patient, but one thing that they all gave us was what?
Time.
Their presence, their time. They were present with us. It wasn't just time where they were physically there, but not emotionally there. They were present with us.
Yeah, man.
right? Best times we had at the park with Dad. Our aunties, bro, Julia and Therese, right? We had the best times with them. Our mum. There's a reason why I get mum working with us, so we can spend more time with her.
Yeah.
Right? And she always walks in with the biggest smile ever, right? Because she's happy to be working with her sons. Those are the things that are important to me. But when I look at some parents, and they're just so fixated on getting Botox, getting their tits done, getting their fucking ass done, you know, trying to look like they're 25 again, even though they're 45 and 50. So, and their kids are begging for their time.
Yeah, man.
It's like, what the fuck are you doing, man?
It's sad, bro. It's sad.
And then then the parent rolls their eyes, like, this kid's so annoying. It's like, bro, quit kid annoying again. I'm going to slap you. Your kid just wants you around.
Yeah, man.
Like, come on. Stop trying to relive your youth. You're not there anymore. Get over it. Right? You're making yourself look worse anyway.
Yeah, hard.
Right? Be there for your kid. And then on top of that, what example are you giving your kid? If a woman does that, or even if men, for some reason, men are starting to do Botox now, it does my fucking head in. What example are you giving your sons?
Ben, could you imagine me with Botox, bro?
But what example are you giving your son? What example are you giving your son about how to build a nice, strong, confident version of himself?
Yeah, man.
Right? You're not giving a good example. And that's my opinion, and it's a very harsh one. But you're not giving a good example. Because you're letting your insecurities speak volumes now. Which means that you ruin your kids' security in themselves because look at what Dad did.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to... It's funny, but I have a receding hairline. Right? A lot of my friends have done their hair. Right? Gone to wherever, either in Sydney or gone overseas to Turkey, done their hair. I will not do it. And the reason why I won't do it is because my son's watching me. And he's going to go deep for something so simple. But it's like, be okay with this phase of your life. It is who I am. It's okay. It doesn't matter to me whether I have hair on my head or not. And it shouldn't matter to my son whether he's got hair on his head or not. Having more hair on your head should never be looked at as something that gives you a sense of worth or adds value to you. Right? There's men that still dye their beards and it's really obvious. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop. Let the greys come through. Who cares? It's part of aging. Who gives a shit? Do you get what I mean? And it's like, come on, like, enough.
100%.
And you wonder why society is the way it is.
Yeah, 100%.
You wonder why so many families are broken. It's because the foundational things that are in traditional families that everyone argues about, they're the things that keep families together. Right? I wish they never invented television. Because it's the biggest thing that takes people away from each other. iPhones, iPads. It's the biggest thing that takes people away from each other.
Yeah, man.
We had the best times. Why? Because Dad made us turn the TV off and talk.
We still turn the TV off at dinner, bro, and I'm 31.
Right? But we do it and we talk and we converse, we catch up. It's fun.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Those 100%. Things are really important. And this is, to me, that's what builds a strong family.
You know what?
That's what strong parents do.
My wife speaks about it all the time with me. She's like, you know, the one thing I love the most about your family is that you guys value your time together. I said, what do you mean? This is obviously when we're dating. I said, what do you mean? She goes, when I was growing up, there was no family dinner. Everyone would just come home from their day, from work, whatnot. Everyone would just eat and like, that's it. There was no sitting around the table eating or nothing like that. Yeah. Everyone was just, you know, they didn't value that time together. And then when everyone started to get older and one got married one at a time, everyone was trying to hold on to the last bit of moments that we had before everyone left the house. She goes, with you guys, the home has always the home has always existed no matter where you guys are.
Yeah.
She goes, that's such a big difference.
It's important.
And I said, yeah, well, my mum and dad made sure that it stayed like that. Doesn't matter how old me and my brother get, or doesn't matter how far over the earth we go. Home will always exist because of the fact that I think my parents really understood that time is of the essence. And you're never going to get it back.
But it goes back even before them. The way they were brought up was like that. Right? Our grandparents, every Monday, every Friday. Yeah? Monday was at our mother's parents' house, after
every
school.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, actually. It was 3 days, if you really think about it, remember?
Well, no, we used to get picked up all together as cousins on a Monday.
Wasn't it Monday, Tuesday? I swear it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Just Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, we went to Mum's. We're digressing anyway. Every Monday, every Friday.
Yep.
Right, every Friday was where? At our grandparents' house. Yeah. Right, at our other grandparents' house. Has that stopped?
Still the same.
Every Thursday at our parents' house. Every Friday, you guys have dinner at Mum's next door, but I'll try sometimes to come as well. I've been alive for 34 years, Alex. That was happening before I was born.
Yeah.
Right? This is why I'm grateful to our parents for continuing that tradition, because it's really important.
Yeah, man, 100%.
It's really, really important. And just that one day a week, spend a few hours together, catch up, see each other, because life does get busy.
Yeah.
right? And we made it a thing, like, we're never going to stop Thursday night dinners.
100%.
Ever. I don't care how old we get. I don't care how many kids we have. I don't care how hard it is to
And
get
going,
there.
like, adding on to that as well, I think what a lot of parents and then just people in general need to do is they need to not let, and you mentioned it before with how you speak and whatnot, not let the pressures of life or the stresses of life come out in how they speak to people, but specifically their children as well.
But it's not their kids' fault.
You know what I mean?
It's not their kids'
No,
fault.
it's not their kids' fault, but everyone needs to be aware of that.
100%.
Right? You know, digressing from just, you know, parents and children, just anyone in your life, right?
So even at work, right, downstairs, I said, how many times do I say to the team, whatever shit you're going through, leave it outside. It's not the client's problem. Right? Clients know when they come in, if you're having a shit day, we'll leave you alone. We're not going to make it worse. But it's not really our problem, so don't fucking throw it on us either.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you get what I mean? We're here to support you. Don't give us whatever shit you're going through with your husband or wife or kids or work or whatever. It's not my problem, so don't make it my fucking problem.
Yeah.
I'm here to train you. I'm here to do a job for you. So let me do that. Deal with your shit when you leave. Right? So let the hour be a good hour for you.
100%.
Same thing with when I get home. When I get home,
Yeah, I was just about
I
to say
leave
that.
the shit out the door because that little boy, all he
not
wants
his-
to do is play. It's not
One,
his
it's not his
fault.
fault.
It's not his fault. I deal with 1,000 dickheads a day.
And it's not his
It's
job
not his fault,
to have all that
exactly.
shit put onto him either.
It's not. But how many times
You know what
did we cop it?
Yeah.
Taking nothing away from my parents. How many times did we cop it?
100%. And that's what we learn from now as well, right? But if I have to say one thing about mum and dad, it's that as they got older, and as we got older, as they got older, they also learn, right?
Because we voiced
They learn
things.
but they learn how to communicate better.
But we voiced things.
Yeah, 100%. But it is also our job as well. And
It's never
no.
his job.
Sorry, maybe job is the wrong word, but we voiced things, but we also had conversations with them.
We never
as well,
argued ever
right?
about that. We spoke about it,
Yeah,
which
exactly
is
right.
really important.
And that comes back to our parents teaching us that.
Well, our mum
Speak
was
up.
big on talking.
Speak up,
My mum was
talk,
big on
nip it in the butt.
dialogue. Yeah,
You know what
dialogue.
I mean?
Talk about it.
And that goes back to my point where I was saying that parents are always learning as well. Maybe they're not aware, right? And a simple conversation can make them aware. Dad, and I talk to Dad like this sometimes as well. I say, Dad, I'm talking to you now, man to man, not son to father. ABC, right? That's just man to man, right? Or Mum, I'm talking to you, man to woman, not mother to son. ABC. Right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes they're not aware. Again, people think, I know I'm not a parent yet, but I am becoming a parent. But people think that there's this misconception that parents just need to have it all figured out. But they
I
forget.
think there's this misconception that we're supposed to have it figured out irrespective of whether we're a parent or not. We're just supposed to have things figured out.
But they forget that they're learning on the job. So they're gonna get shit wrong. Some more times than not, they're gonna get shit wrong.
But also, you got to understand, when you throw emotion, right, into this whole complex role of being a parent,
And then you throw life into that as well. Life outside of the
which
home.
triggers emotion, right?
Right.
You got a frustration from outside of home. You got love for your kids. Kids have got frustrations of their own, which they do. They probably don't even know how to deal with it, but they do. They let it out on the parent lets it out on the kid. What happens?
Yeah, 100%.
Right. This is why, like, it's so important to be healthy.
But learn how to
But be healthy
communicate,
because
yeah.
it means that you can actually come from things in a
We
calm
can regulate
way.
things better.
You can come at things in a calm way. Now, last question before we end up this episode. It's been a great episode, by the way. Thank you. What are your top 3 things that every single family needs to have? Top 3 qualities that every single family needs to have to be able to stay close and build a beautiful life together.
My number one is and always will be faith.
Yeah.
Truly believe that faith needs to be the head of the house. Secondly would be emotional maturity and instilling that one within yourself to then instill that within your children. And thirdly, I would say open communication. Now, what I mean by open communication, and this is where, again, parents of this generation are falling into the trap of not understanding that properly. You are a parent first and foremost. You're not their friend. You're a parent first and foremost. However, you can listen to them and let them communicate with the balance of needing to parent as well. Right? You're not their friend. You're not there to hang out with them. You're there to listen to them, communicate with them, but also there are boundaries that are set because I'm the parent and I have more life experience than you. And so I know that if you turn this way, this is going to happen. And if you turn that way, that's going to happen. So there's a boundary. I'm open to you. I'm open to communicate with you. But as your parent, what I say goes at the same time because of the life experience I have. And that comes back to correctly communicating with your child.
Yeah, 100%. Well, my 3 is, like you said, faith. The second one is health.
Yep.
And the third one is communication. And the reason why I say health is because if you're not healthy, right, in every aspect from a holistic point of view of health, nothing good comes from it. Nothing good happens. Communication is really important because most parents don't communicate with their kids, right? A lot of hatred. And Charlie Kirk said it best. The second we stop communicating and stop talking about these things is the second we're going to start hating each other and potentially try and kill each other. Right? Now think about that for a second. If you and I stop communicating about how we feel, you're going to harbor feelings towards me, I'm going to harbor feelings towards you. But what happens internally? We start making up our own fucking stories.
Resentment, all that shit.
There's hatred that starts to build up, and then before you know what, bang, we explode. If we're complete strangers, we'll punch on with each other. We don't even know why we're fighting. We just build up this anger towards each other. Yeah. That's why communication is so important. Yeah. Right? Open communication is really important. Conversation, respectful conversation is very important. Right? Those individuals that talk, hear somebody rebuttal how they feel, then they start yelling and swearing and flipping the lid, they need to go and sort out their emotional stability because they can't communicate properly if somebody disagrees with them. Right? This is why constant open communication is really important because it's a key driver with emotional regulation. You need to be okay with the fact that someone's going to disagree with you. Doesn't make you a bad person, doesn't make you them better than you or make them a bad person either. Right? But you need to be okay with the fact that communication is really important. And in a household, it's very easy for communication to stop. Right? And then what happens?
Crumbles.
Everything, you know why? Because stuff starts to build up, tension starts to rise. Something very simple just causes this big blow up. But it wasn't the thing that happened, it was the straw that broke the camel's back. Do you get what I mean? Yep. So communication is really important, and Jess and I are very big on that. I don't let things go more than a day. And if I have to, I bring it up in front of her parents if I have to, or in front of mine. I don't let it go because I need to deal with it so we can move forward. And stay close, right? And I'm all for confrontation. I like it. You got a problem? Let's fucking talk about it. I'm not gonna hate you. I know you're not gonna hate me, but let's talk about it. Alrighty, that's the segment done. Last segment, we're not done yet. Footy. Last episode I lost it about the Bulldogs. Let's talk about your good old Tigers, mate. 50 points they just... We're in round 9, guys. Still, we're in round 9. Oh, we just ended round 9. We're starting round 10.
Yep.
But the Tigers lost by 50 points, bro.
Yep.
Tell me the top 2 or 3 things that... Why did they just lose like that? Like, that was a very, very different performance to what we saw the previous week.
So we started really well.
Don't say you lost Dewey. That doesn't mean 50 points come on you.
No. Let me talk, cars. Let me talk. No. Look, we started really well. And we were leading. Even when Dewey got injured, we were still leading. Dewey got injured, we put another...
P.S. I hate the fact that I call him Dewey. It's Dway here.
I know, but he actually wants Dewey. That's on him.
You know why? Because there's no leaves around him. It's just easier for them to pronounce.
It's easy for the Australian commentators to say Dewey.
Yeah, exactly right.
Dewey got injured. Jock Madden came on. We scored an amazing try. Him and Luai combined beautifully. Luai put Samuel Fainu through a hole. Beautiful line. And then, Fainu tipped it off to Taylor May, and Taylor May scored. So it didn't actually have anything to do with Dewey getting injured per se from an attacking point of view. Attack was great. What happened though was effort and attitude, right? We had close to 20 errors by the end of the game.
Oof.
I don't care who you are. And again,
Penrith are
the best team in the comp.
Winning a game with 20 errors, bro.
And they had 15 errors against you guys, and you guys destroyed them, right? So it doesn't matter who you are. When you have errors like that and your completion rate is 60%, that was our completion rate, 60%.
What happened though? How did it become like that?
We had a winger who had only played his 3rd NRL game. So he was under immense pressure. Braden Trindle is a very, very good half, and he exploited that, right? The kid made one mistake, and Trindle, as a good half does, just went there all game. Bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb. Secondly, because of those mistakes, we ended up having no ball in the second half at all. We had 20% of the ball in the second half.
Yeah. I guess
from a time point of view, what that is in 40 minutes?
Yeah, it's like 30 minutes of no ball.
You literally had the ball for 10 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
And when we did have the ball, we made another mistake. So when you actually did control the ball, it was like 5 minutes.
Well, it takes time to get back, get back onto the
Especially
advantage
in this
line,
game
get back
with the
out of
six
your-
agains and all that, you know how fast the game
it
is.
takes a good 2 or 3 sets to get.
Yeah,
your
it's an attacking game
kind of-
now.
Yeah,
Right?
but it takes a good 2 or 3 sets to get back into your rhythm, your
100%.
routine. Got to get yourself out of danger.
100%.
Hopefully, a penalty goes your way or a set
To
reset
get that momentum going
To get
again.
momentum going.
But we
yeah.
had no momentum
You
because we
at
had no
least 2 or
ball.
3 sets in their red zone
To really get something
to
going.
even look like you're going to score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
If
then
you
the-
haven't, if you're stuck in your half the whole time, you got no chance.
We literally were stuck in our 20 the whole time.
yeah.
And the third thing was that all their tries were scored on the right side,
Which is that
Right.
winger side.
which was that winger side because of the fact that that whole right side was the New South Wales Cup side because of the injuries that we have. Dewey went down. So you had Jock Madden, Tony Suka, Stafford Toa, Tino Tavana. They're all New South Wales Cup players, right? Bar Stafford Toa, who was very, very disappointing to watch, which is why he got dropped this week, because he needs an attitude adjustment. He had no effort or anything like that in that game, and it showed. But those
What
four
position
players,
does he play?
centre.
Okay.
Those 4 players literally were New South Wales Cup side, and again, Sharks being one of the better attacking teams in the comp,
Just knew what they were
exploited that
doing.
side.
Yeah.
And all Luai,
50 points?
Yeah, Luai, Taylor May, Samuel Afenu, Luai, Taylor May, and Luke Lualili. Not one try went on their side. Not one line break, not nothing. Everything on that left side got shut down. Defense was perfect. The middle, defense was great. Not one try got scored through the middle, bar one, which was the dummy half right on the line, dummy that went over.
But he's
Bar
the best
that.
dummy half in the game at the moment.
Blake Brayley, animal. Literally everything was on that right side, either from putting a bomb up and we drop it and they pick it up and score, or just doing a great, set on that right side. The lack of, cohesion and communication in that right defense isn't up to standard because they're all New South Wales Cup players. And yeah, that's literally all it was. I'm not going to make excuses. We've got injuries and whatnot. It's going to happen. You have to be ready to go.
Yeah.
But this is a side that's still, building.
Yeah.
This is a very, very. We're still the younger. We're actually they're labelled the youngest side in the NRL. So with the amount of players that we have in our top 30, we're the youngest side in the NRL. So we've still got players that are learning and whatnot, but we are better. The job now for the boys is to come out against Melbourne and capitalise on the fact that Melbourne have lost 7 in a row, put on a good performance, get that confidence and morale back up. If we lose this game, look, I'm not going to say that we're not going to make the top 8 if we lose this one, because of the fact that
It's just pressure. That's all.
well, we've already shown within the first 9 rounds of the season that with our full side, we're a top 2 team, right? So it's you just got to mount pressure on yourself if you lose, and that pressure can destroy your season. Right?
It can, especially the like that 5, 6, 7, 8 position.
Yeah,
Even like 9, 10, 11. All those teams are very much kind of on their day. They can
they're
all
always
beat each
in and
other.
out of the top 8.
But on their day, they can all beat each other.
Yeah,
The top
100%.
4 is kind of always set,
Yeah.
right? Usually Melbourne's up there, but they're not, which is tripping me out. They're
Yeah, I
last.
know.
It's I can't believe the playing roster and where they're sitting. It's just not working.
Like, let's put it this way: Melbourne are only 2 games better than St George.
Yeah,
Think
I know.
about that for a second.
I know.
They're only 2 games better than St George at the moment.
But
and we're in round 10.
on Melbourne, how sad is it to hear about Craig Bellamy
Yeah,
and
I
his
know,
condition?
man. Especially after everything he's achieved in the game as well.
But this is also goes to show these neurological stuff, like that's long-term pressure and stress, right?
Stress,
like, he's one of the most successful, if I believe, the most successful coach in the NRL.
100% he is. No
in
doubt
the
about it.
history of the NRL,
No doubt about it.
right? But
No one has done what he's been
at the
able
cost
to do.
of what?
It's sad, man.
He's got grandkids, bro.
I know. It is. When
You
you
know?
put it into perspective, you know what? This is why I have big respect for Benji Marshall. And I'll tell you why. Because he reminds his players that what we just spoke about, perspective around the game, it's so important. And this is why your family needs to come first no matter what.
Yeah, of course.
And that's why the boys love him and want to play for him. And so many players want to come to the Tigers and play
Well,
for
think
him.
of it like this: Benji Marshall's been at the top,
And at the bottom
the
as
best
well.
number 6 in the world, the best Premiership winning 5'8",
Golden
electric
Boot winner, which is the best
Golden
player
Boot.
in the
Yeah.
rugby league as a game in the whole
Yeah,
world.
yeah, it's amazing. And then he went like,
And then he's been at the bottom as well, where he's
Yeah.
been criticised for everything.
and his depression, anxiety, and alcoholism, whatever. Yeah, and then took over a team as a coach.
that were literally
and-
the cellar
and-
dwellers.
Yeah, and they were coming last almost.
No, we were
Sack
coming
him,
after
oh,
that,
you
we
were,
went
yeah.
through.
Sack him, yada, yada, yada. Now it's starting to turn it around. It's like, bro, like, That's a lot of pressure, man.
And every single player speaks about the reason why they love playing under Benji is because he understands that family first.
Yeah, it's very important. Yeah, it's very important.
It's a very short career.
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say next. Like, when you retire, what happens then?
Yeah. The NRL.
I know a lot of guys, like when I used to fight, I know a lot of guys that in Thailand or in Japan, when I go there, they were like superstars. You couldn't get people off them.
Yeah.
No one knew about them here, though. So when they retired and they're back living at home, which is Australia, they went through some serious depression because they were so used to this stardom and then now going to like almost like, you know, just an everyday person. They didn't know how to manage that or cope with that. This is what happens when you forget about where you came from and what your roots are, which is family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Anyway, good luck to the Tigers this week.
Let's go, boys.
We're going to get pumped, so I'm not even going to say good luck to the Dogs.
Baby, let's go.
Oh, get out of here. Thanks for tuning in, team. Don't forget, like and subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify. Thanks for the support.
Thank you.
Thanks, boys.